It's over a week into term, but the early mornings aren't getting any easier.
Good morning, boys. Wakey, wakey, rise and shine. And of course I do mean shine.
Especially when every day starts with spit and polish.
Okay, don't sit in the flower beds. What's wrong with you? Are you a pansy?
The boys and girls aren't just competing in lessons, they're being judged on everything. From the shininess of their shoes to the neatness of their hospital corners. In Nightingale Dorm, the girls are making sure not a hair is out of place. After a shaky first week as head girl, Vicky Buxton is eager that the girls impress matron during her morning dorm inspection.
I guess I'd give myself more to do than I probably do. But then if I'm the one that gets in trouble if I don't, so...
On my beds.
An anxious Vicky awaits matron's verdict. The extra effort pays off. Top marks for the girls.
That was so hard. Thank you.
She comes up going, that was so funny.
So how will the boys do? Matron's X-ray eyes can detect messy sheets through blankets.
Wrinkles. Everything else is over in there. That goes as well.
If you don't learn how to make your bed properly, you and I are going to fall out, aren't we?
A big fat 0 for the boys. To catch up with the girls, they'll need to raise their game. Morning assembly. At Charles Darwin, attention to detail is everything. After a week of wearing uniform, there's 0 tolerance for shoddy appearance.
Stand, please.
Get your top button done up.
True to form, it's a boy who's letting the side down.
Report to my office. I think you need a lesson in how to get dressed and how to stay dressed.
While the rest of the kids head off to breakfast, slovenly Hugh Gilroy reports to Mr. Williams, who has a unique way of enforcing the school dress code.
What we are going to do is that you are going to get changed into your pyjamas. If you are satisfactorily dressed in your pyjamas, buttons done up, everything neat and tidy, I will send you back to get dressed back into your uniform. And we will keep repeating that process until you get it right. You have 2 minutes, off you go. I'm sorry, Gilmore. Did you knock?
Oh, sorry, sir. I thought I was coming straight back in.
Well, I tell you, you don't just burst into my office like that.
Come in.
Oh dear, you were late. This could be a long lesson, I fear.
To make the 2-minute deadline, Gilroy tries cutting corners, putting his uniform on over his pyjamas.
Come in. Oh dear, blazer button's not done up, Gilroy. I'm not even going to bother to inspect the socks and the shoes and everything else, because you just haven't got it right. Come in. We're speeding up a little bit, but let's see, there were at least 2 infringements, weren't there, on the last round? So I think we need to have at least 1 more round. Come in. That was 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Let's check the socks. 2 pairs of socks. Excellent. Now, we haven't been cheating, have we, Gilroy?
No, sir.
Do you think that top button will come undone again?
Never again, sir.
Right. You may go.
Thanks, sir. It's just uncomfortable to always have it tight around my neck, so I just loosened it, and it's also uncomfy when I'm sitting down. It does actually pull down and go around my neck, so I just thought I'll unloosen it.
The first lesson of the day is biology. Today, it's anatomy. In the 1950s, children were expected to learn by rote the names and positions of every bone, muscle and organ in the human body. By comparison, this lot's body of knowledge is skeletal.
Would you please point to Ashley's clavicle? Clavicle, her clavicle.
Useless. Go and sit down.
The clavicle, girls, is the collarbone. Right. Point to Ashley's coccyx. Come on, point out coccyx. So her coccyx is in the middle of her forehead. Oh! Oh! So we've now gone from the forehead to the backside, is that right? I presume, therefore, that you think that she speaks out of her backside as well. Is that correct? Go and sit down, girl.
The girls have displayed a woeful ignorance of basic anatomical facts. So will the boys fare any better?
You're right. Relative size and position of the liver. Pathetic. Go and sit down. If that was the relative size and position of your liver, you wouldn't live very long. Do you think the liver has a function? Is it essential in anything?
Probably not.
So you'd be quite happy to lose the whole of your liver then?
Yeah.
I don't think your parents would be very happy for you to lose the whole of your liver, because if you did, they'd lose the whole of you. You die, boy, you die. What is the problem?
Please, sir, you can't make us do it.
We can't stomach to, like, cut up a dead animal.
We can't eat it. I don't think.
Calm down. I have no option but to deduct marks in the examination if you cannot take part. To be perfectly honest, the knowledge of human anatomy was very, very poor. And this is a very simple, practical, easy way to actually overcome that.
At Charles Darwin Grammar, the relentless timetable continues with a maths lesson for the boys.
Right, today we are checking that you can do your formal written methods for division.
Long division would have posed no problem to even the distinctly average O-level student.
Razak, come to the board. You've never done division. What a ridiculous statement to make. You have been in school, secondary school, for 5 years, and you have not done division.
I've never been taught how to do it.
That's ridiculous. Sit down.
Despite having 6 predicted A and A-star grades between them, these GCSE number crunchers are lost without their pocket calculators.
To be honest, Minister, I just can't do it. I've been taught I have been taught, but I just don't grasp long division.
You don't know how to start this question.
No, yes.
Sit down.
With 8 A and A-stars, the girls' GCSE predictions are even better. Surely they can manage long division.
What I don't understand is on the first one you did 294, took it away, and then 294 again. I don't understand what anybody's doing.
That's ridiculous. That at 16 years old you cannot do division. You clearly don't know what's going on and it's not good enough.
If these kids show a poor grasp of basic arithmetic, numeracy in the country at large is in a worse state, with almost half of all adults lacking the maths skills for even the lowest GCSE pass.
Did you put the 3 there?
No, sit down. No, sit down. Why are we still putting numbers up there?
I put the 3 on there.
No, you don't. Sit down.
I've never done it this way before. So.
You should have done it by this. Where have you been? You've been sleeping all this time?
Clearly, there's a long way to go if they want to pass their O-levels at the end of term.
I've never had to do long division on paper. I can't remember the last time I actually did division on paper.
I don't see when I am ever going to use long division again. That's what they've got calculators for.
They might be struggling academically, but the behaviour in their single-sex class has been exemplary.
Blazers off, please.
With lessons over for the day, the boys and girls now have their first joint activity, a rehearsal for their end-of-term performance of Gilbert and Sullivan's opera, The Mikado.
Face this way.
So, will the distraction of the opposite sex affect their behaviour?
Would you stop talking, please?
Boys going to marry young. Your anger and carry, you all will be merry. I think you had better succumb. Crumb.
Then
Carrying on.
What we've got with the boys, them thinking it's just a great big joke. I will not have you ruining this.
I suggest that the back row of boys come down here, where we can see them.
Bring your chairs and come and sit here. Do you think I'm bluffing?
I'm not bluffing or laughing. What did you say?
Bluffing.
What about?
That I will not just exclude you from this activity and children prep. The constant giggling, the interrupting.
Pardon?
I beg your pardon.
Pardon?
Would you go outside, please?
Nathan Anidugby is sent out to reflect on his bad behaviour.
You knew that I addressed that last speech to you without naming you specifically because we had eye contact the whole time I was doing it.
But it wasn't just me, that's the thing.
You were taller than the rest of the group.
No, I'm not taller than the rest of the group, miss. Jefford, he's as tall as me.
Well, you were the one
No,
who
no, miss!
How dare you speak to me like that? Turn around!
Back inside, there's been no improvement in the boys' behaviour.
Boys, if I turn round once more and see you mucking around, then I will be furious.
I'm not having every rehearsal like this because it will kill me.
Good.
Which of you said that? Which of you said good?
It's the boy that was selected as a principal part.
At the moment, Mr. Stanley, I am this close to saying, why should we use our free time to give you something enjoyable?
It's the final straw for Miss Gibson. Mr. Stanley is left holding the fort.
Get that smirk off your face, Peters, because you're the top person on my list. Stand up straight. Sit down. Sit down there, you two. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here! No. Come here now! Come here now! Get there! Get out! Keep running round this tree. Keep running round this tree. Go, 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 go! We are trying to teach you the music for Gilbert and Sullivan's Mikado. And all you can do is disrupt, laugh, be pathetic. We've already had Antagonizes sent out. We now have Peters running round a tree. Stand up.
The musical miscreants are handed over to Matron, who's never short of chores for naughty boys.
I thought they were on a nice, even keel, but they'd just tipped over yet once again. Peters is gardening. Nathan is doing all the ironing. And Razak is cleaning my copper and my silver. I am so cross.
The impish Kadir Razak's antics would come as no surprise to his family back home.
Hi, my name's Kadir Razak and I live here in Sheffield with my great big family. I'm quite a chatty person, so I always get told off in class.
He never gives anybody else a chance to speak. And that's what the teachers every time say to us, can you please stay to Caddy and let the other kids have a chance to speak?
My sisters since day one have always nagged me to do my homework because they want me to achieve and they've always wanted me to do well.
When we were young and we were studying, we didn't get the opportunities what Caddy has now. And I just want to push him that bit hard to, you know, grab them opportunities with both hands and do the best for himself.
Oh. My dad's a taxi driver, he drives a big black cab.
I'm very proud of Kadir because he's good lad, you know, and I like him very much.
A teacher once said to me, why are you even working? You're only going to become a taxi driver. That made me really mad and frustrated, and it made me more determined that I'm not going to become a taxi driver because I've given the chance to become something else.
Where to, sir?
Back to school, please, Dad.
As well as buffing up Matron's jugs, Razak has a formal apology to make.
Dear Miss Gibson, I am deeply sorry for my... I think that's meant to say insolent.
You got a spike on your hair, miss.
Oh dear. I deeply regret saying such a thing. I have also been trying to think what could have made you say such a hurtful thing. I suspect it came out of your mouth before you thought. If that is not the case, tell me now.
It did just slip out my mouth.
Before you thought?
Yes.
I was very, very, very hurt.
I can understand that, miss.
Right, my name is Sergeant Allen. I've been dragged out of my bed to come here this afternoon and for the rest of this term to teach you people drill.
After a day of disruptive behaviour from the boys, the final activity of the afternoon comes not a minute too soon.
I will work hard for you as long as you work hard for me. Is that understood? Yes, sir. Right, if you look...
In the 1950s, many grammar schools ran a cadet force, or CCF. It was designed to instill discipline and enforce uniformity among male pupils.
Right, stand still! You're ragged, guys, you're ragged. Not very good. 3 trees, let's go. Come on, sharpen up, let's go. Back, back, back. Harder, 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 come on!
Once again, chief troublemaker Scott Peters is dragging his heels.
Card. Tuck your shirt in.
Peters doesn't hurry for anyone. He's trying it on.
The more time you take, young man, the more time I'll let into your break time. Do you understand?
Yes, Sergeant.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Sir, can you take this individual away and put him in front of the headmaster, please? Get out. Go away.
This certainly isn't the first time that his teachers have tried to discipline Peters.
My name's Scott Peters. That's my mum. And that's where I live.
When he left primary school, he was right up the top, and basically from year 8, it just went downhill.
I don't so much hate the school, it's just certain teachers that I really didn't get on with.
Scott gets in trouble for answering back. If he feels that he's in the right, then he won't let it drop.
The worst kind of teachers are really snotty one that don't like you and talks down to you and don't listen to you when you're talking.
I think the teachers in the 1950 school will be a lot stricter. They're going to expect a lot more discipline and a lot more respect than the teachers of today.
I think the teachers are going to find it a bit harder than what they have done before, trying to show me something.
I think Scott's definitely going to get a shock. Yeah, definitely.
You didn't want to do this CCF, did you, Peters?
I didn't.
Well, you will do this CCF, Peters. It is a part of the school curriculum. Now, we'll have you back outside and we'll have you doing CCF. And if you do not put your heart into it, we will arrange some extra CCF for you on your own. Is that understood, Peters?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Peters has something to say.
Sorry, Sergeant.
No,
Peters!
that is not acceptable. Come here. Come here.
Insolent, lazy and disruptive,
Peters.
boys like Peters are every teacher's worst nightmare.
Everyone should be stood at
Peters,
attention.
stop where you are.
Don't look at him. Look this way.
What did I just say to you in that office?
Just apologise to the sergeant.
No, that was not an apology. What? Peters, I know an apology when I see him, and what I saw was insolence, not an apology. The words that came out of your mouth may have been an apology, but the sentiment behind it was nowhere near an apology.
Got nothing to be sorry for. What, you told me to say sorry, so I did it.
Get back into that line.
I don't
You
want
take
to
it.
CCF.
You will do CCF. It is a part of the school curriculum. You will do it.
Peters' behaviour may have gone unchecked in the modern world, but discipline in the 1950s was unbending and relentless.
Peters, come here. See the sports pit, the trees down the bottom? Off you go. Get away, then you come back. Double. Get away. Get going. Peters, if you do not start running, these people here will suffer because of you. Let's go. You're suffering because of him, people. We're not going to do nothing all day because of that individual. Move yourselves.
Despite the fact his friends are suffering on his behalf, Peters just doesn't seem to care.
Peters, are you going to improve? Are you going to impress? Are you going to change your attitude? Obviously not. Come here. Go and stand over there, underneath there, and look at that wall. Get away. Move your body. Double! Double!
While the boys, minus Peters, are being toughened up to defend Queen and country, the girls are being transformed into young ladies in Miss Bryant's deportment class.
When you shake hands with somebody, you don't pump the hand up and down like that. Neither do you offer a hand that is so limp that it's a horrible feeling. A handshake... No, that's certainly not. A handshake is just a grasp and one shake. That is enough.
Some of the girls are taking this more seriously than others.
Emily, Samantha. Samantha likes going to the cinema on weekends. But Emily, shut up. Right.
Kaylee, this is Holly. Holly, this is Kaylee, this is Holly.
Many grammar school girls went on to marry businessmen and the captains of industry, so learning how to be the perfect hostess was de rigueur.
Walking around with a book on your head, how is that going to help me in life?
I come from South London. People in South London don't do that. And if I was to do that when I got home, I'd probably just get beaten up.
Back on the parade square, only Peters remains. His punishment for refusing to do CCF is a 1950s favourite.
Stand there, gather your thoughts. Member of staff will be out there in 30 minutes. Yes, Stan?
Yes, Sergeant.
Sorry?
Yes, Sergeant.
45 minutes, no? Look up.
It's complete and utterly pointless to do CCF, and I don't want to. And they keep making me do it. So I thought today, I'm not going to. And I didn't, which is a good thing.
Peters may think he's won, but his insolent ways don't faze the unbending staff at Charles Darwin Grammar.
He's not a stupid boy. You know, he can produce work, he is capable of understanding, and he is capable of doing well. Whether or not culturally that fits him in terms of his peers is another matter. Taking the stance on the CCF was perhaps one attempt at doing that, and it failed.
A new day at Charles Darwin Grammar, and once again, the boys are paying the price for their bad behaviour. So Matron is now scrutinising their every move, and she's got her nose for trouble.
You smell quite sweet.
Thank you, Matron.
Why do you smell sweet?
I had a wash last night.
But he had a wash last night and he doesn't smell sweet.
I'm more of a thorough washer than him.
With no deodorant and showers every other day, it's not a task for the faint-hearted.
Ooh.
Oh, Matron, that's an exaggeration.
No, I have a very, very sensitive nose.
The boys' dorm scores are improving. Perhaps the continual punishments are paying off. But in the goody-goody girls' quarters, homesickness is driving some into the path of temptation. They've broken into Matron's laundry, where there's a telephone.
Hi, Mum, Dad, everyone. I love you loads. It's Vicky. I'm just like in a...
Someone who ought to know better is head girl Vicky Buxton.
I love you loads. Please don't call this number back because I'll get in so much trouble. But I just thought I'd let you know I love you back. Oh, God.
But Miss Bryant's on the prowl.
You know I love you and I really, really miss you, okay? Okay, Mum, don't ring the bell back ever. Don't ever ring the bell back.
Matron will deal with it all.
No, but we need to wash them, miss, because they're really dirty.
A quick excuse seems to save the day.
Meant to be in the laundry. That's Matron's domain.
But the girls soon start to fret that it's only a matter of time before the staff realise what they were really doing in the laundry.
She was the one that caught me. She caught me in there and I was the one talking.
No, I'm not. Oh. Yeah, well, we'll just say we were trying to find our shirts and our pants and socks and stuff, yeah?
In spite of her position, head girl Vicky's unrepentant.
As head girl, it's the same as being me. I'm not going to act any differently because I'm head girl. I'm not going to tell people to stop it because that was one of the people that did it, you know? I mean, I'm not going to act any differently just because I've got a badge on my blazer.
For another girl, homesickness and the restrictions of 1950s life are proving too much. Rosie Morton has come to see her housemistress.
I'm getting really homesick.
Well, that's natural. First term.
I know, but like it's getting me really down, and the whole routine and the hygiene. I don't know. I'm just getting really annoyed with that, and I can only like wash my hair once a week, and we're all like getting really smelly. And
some of the rules are getting you down, but do you want to really let them defeat you?
For this whole week and a half and stuff, I've been thinking about going, and it's really annoying. That's all I'm focused on doing. Why can't I just enjoy myself here? But I can't. I'm really missing home. I never thought I would, but I'm really missing home. Because it's really stupid. They give you a choice when you go to the toilet, and it's only like twice a day. It's not hygienic at all. And I've been wearing the same pants for 2 days. I've got the same ones I wore yesterday, and it's just really awful. It's not hygienic, and the food's horrible.
I don't want Rosie to go. She's been like my best friend since we came, and I'm really gonna miss her, and I really don't want her to go.
As Rosie leaves Charles Darwin Grammar School for the 21st century, she leaves behind an emotional group of girls.
Oh, sweet.
Obviously Rosie left this morning, which was really upsetting, especially the way it happened. We wasn't allowed to say goodbye to her.
The fact that she's gone has probably paved the way for like other people to leave.
We heard that she actually left at 10:30 and her bed was stripped and everything. It just felt so haunting.
Why are you facing the wrong way, boy?
But the 1950s was not a decade of namby-pamby child-centred education. Lessons must go on.
Kind of stall.
Since the beginning of term, Dr. Shidlow's chemistry lessons have been explosive.
We have hydrogen burning as the calcium is reacting vigorously with the water. And here it is. This is what we call a spontaneous reaction.
Popular with the boys, not so popular with the girls. Today, he's going to be demonstrating a series of dramatic chemical reactions involving a substance called fuming nitric acid.
This reaction will generate quite a lot of very, very toxic nitrogen dioxide gas, which I shall move away from briskly. There we are.
Experiments using such volatile chemicals are rarely performed today, but they were a standard part of the chemistry O-level.
Love potion number 9.
The 50s was an age of exploration and invention, and grammar schools were the breeding ground for future scientists. In chemistry, pupils were treated as grown-ups, and the exciting practical experiments performed often contained an element of risk. But teachers believed that giving their students this level of responsibility was the best way to inspire a lifelong passion for the subject.
I'm going to, first of all, ignite a piece of cotton. Cotton is cellulose, it's a plant material, and when it burns, it does so with a flame which is entirely unspectacular. There it is, it's burning in a manner which is not particularly interesting. The reason why it burns like this is because there is a limited amount of oxygen around. This is cotton or cellulose which has been nitrated. It's had extra oxygen added to it, and it will therefore burn much better. So watch carefully, notice the difference. And then you notice the reason why this reaction happened like this is because what I'm holding in front of you is one of the world's most powerful explosives.
Chemistry, we wouldn't do anything like we do at my school, because here, just like safety just doesn't really matter here. You can do whatever you want.
And he goes, yeah, this is a toxic gas. All the gas came out of it, and then he reached over to get something, and his head was in this big cloud of toxic gas.
Get a handful of chemicals, whack it in a bowl, bit of acid, whack it in a bowl, watch a bit of flames, and then it's mad.
In girls' chemistry, however, emotions are getting in the way of work. Upset they couldn't say goodbye to Rosie Morton, they're staging a silent protest.
Look at the phenomenally violent reaction, even with just a few drops of fuming nitric. This is copper, one of the least reactive metals. I can see some girls aren't looking this way. You are foolish in the extreme.
As usual, head girl Vicky is at the vanguard of the troublemakers.
Vicky, can you tell me now, what 2 experiments have I done today? Yes, Vicky. You can't say anything? OK, 250 words on the importance of paying attention in class for not being able to say so. Right, Holly, now you tell me. What 2 important... OK, you've got 250 words on the importance of paying attention in class as well. Can you tell me what 2 experiments have I done? Don't know either. OK, what 2 experiments have I done? Don't know either. Could you tell me? You tell me. You tell me.
Protest was a complete failure, and it ended up with us all in detention and writing a 250-word essay on discipline. Nothing ever works, so does it? Teachers always win.
Afraid of more punishment to come, some of the girls decide they'd better fess up to phoning home.
It's made me feel really upset as well, because my mum's voice was like, whoa, reality. But we've got to go and admit it, Emily, because that's the only thing we can do, or we're going to get in serious.
All that remains is to convince Vicar's daughter, Vicky Buxton. She's got more to lose than the others.
You're forgetting what you're wearing.
Yeah,
they're going to be. That's all they'll do. They'll take it off you.
That's it. Oh, that's it. That's the only reason why I'm staying. I don't give a crap about this place. I don't care at all. The only reason why I'm staying is because I'm a girl.
Right, girls, what's the problem?
Mrs. Carter, we've come here to, well, we've come to admit to you that all 5 of us have tried or attempted, or some of us actually have, used the phone.
In the
laundry room.
That we've called home. But we know we shouldn't have done it and we feel really awful about it, so we're admitting to it now.
Right, I will need to think about what action needs to be taken. So I won't say off the top of my head, I need to think this through, okay, because I will take into account that you have confessed your crime before we've had to find out about it.
But Vicky's terrified she's going to lose her head girl badge.
And I'm crying and it's pathetic.
No, it's not pathetic. Why are you saying it's pathetic? It's not pathetic.
Obviously, head girl is quite an important thing to be a part of, so then if I were to have that taken away from me, it's kind of taking away some of the things that I'm even staying here for.
Sit down. You need your music books out straight away. Don't slam your desks.
The last academic lesson of the day is music with Mr. Stanley.
You have an opportunity today to complete a test. This test will cover reading and writing music, the rhythmic table, and finally, all that work on Beethoven's Fifth Symphony.
A basic knowledge of the great composers was standard fare for grammar school pupils. But Rebel Peters isn't inspired by classical music. Once again, he's trying it on.
Peters, yes, you can. Sit up straight. Don't be slouching over the desk. You're ill. You need to go and see a matron then. Peters. Peters. Sit up straight, please. Peters, I've asked you to sit up straight. Right. Peters, I'm going to remove the desk from you.
Do it then.
That's better, Peters. You're leaning all over the desk. What are we going to do with you, Peters, eh? If you're not being silly and disrupting, you're completely isolating yourself from the work by being ill.
Next up for the boys, it's PT, Peter's favourite lesson. Fortunately for him, he seems to have recovered from his mystery illness.
The javelin is a weapon. It was used in wars. It was used to hunt. In our case, we use it for competition and we use it to see how strong and fit you are.
In the 1950s, physical education, for boys at least, harked back to a classical ideal of the proud and fearless warrior athlete competing at the ancient Olympics. As a result, sports like discus, shot put and javelin were a core part of the PT curriculum.
You are throwing like a girl off your wrong foot!
It was all part of toughening them up to become real men.
Go!
And in this contest, Scott Peters is the star athlete.
Excellent throw, Peters. Well done.
His impressive performance has attracted the attention of Mr. Stanley.
Glad to see you making a bit of a miraculous recovery there, Peters. You have to repeat the music test to make up on lost time for your illness.
Pardon, sir?
I suggest we have to repeat your music test at some point. Make up, unless you're suddenly ill for that activity.
Will you get my javelin for me, please?
Yes, sir.
Hey, can I have a little bit of your biscuit just to dunk in my milk?
Time, and while the rest of the kids tuck in, Mr. Stanley summons Peters back to his classroom. In the disciplinarian environment of a 1950s grammar school, no one gets off a music test scot-free.
I'm not happy with your efforts, with your work. I want you to do this again, and I want you to write it out much more neatly, and I want you to answer some of the questions properly.
Why am I going to do it again?
Because I've asked you to, Peters.
I've already done it.
Do it again.
I've already done it.
Do it again.
Why isn't everyone else doing it again?
Because they were not asleep during my music test. Get on with it.
Who was asleep? I wasn't asleep. So you don't even know what's going on.
Despite Peter's gobby front, Mr. Stanley has prevailed. And at the end of the afternoon, something surprising is happening. Peters is taking part in CCF without complaint.
Come on, home! Get your log home! Get mine, home!
Come on then, Peters, let's see you perform. Let's see you go quality press-ups. Look at me, Peters. Look at me. Come on. Smile. It seems he's learnt his lesson.
My behaviour's got better, I feel personally, over the weeks, like since they've gone on. But then certain days I'll have such a bad day that I'll just completely flip out and I won't care about anything and just lose my temper so much that I get in a whole bucket load of trouble for stupid things that could have been avoided if I just listened in the first place.
Pay attention!
Our modern teenagers are almost halfway through their term at Charles Darwin Grammar. In 2 weeks' time, they'll sit 1950s O-level exams across a range of subjects, including English.
Right, good morning, girls. Sit down.
In this morning's lesson, the girls will be writing sonnets.
Yesterday, we were looking at the sonnet form. To remind you, for those of you that have forgotten in the short space of time it is since we learnt this, iambic signifies that it is an unstressed syllable followed by a stressed syllable. Pentameter signifies that there are 5 feet in a line.
In today's creative writing lessons, the emphasis is on self-expression. There's an underlying assumption that every kid has something valuable to say. Back in the 1950s, poetry was about rules and precise use of form, metre and rhyme.
Could I compare thee to the stars of night, their light traversing infinite miles of space? Yes, for I would journey just for the sight of that, the wondrous beacon of your face.
Do you remember that day when I said that you hurt me and really left a mark? And I explained that I wanted you dead, and thus the world suddenly turns dark.
I think we're all going to be emotional wrecks by the end of this lesson, aren't we?
Next up is Kaylee Derman.
What theme have you taken for your sonnet, Kaylee?
Love. Sorry, guys. The more I look, the more I want to be, yours with a radiant smile on my face. Now, forever and for eternity, anything to get me out of this place. I will be with you one day, I'm sure, and I know that my love for you is pure.
When it comes to overtures of love, Kaylee's an expert.
Hi, my name's Kaylee Derman, and I'm just boy crazy. I love boys, basically that's all there is to it. I'm not afraid to let everyone know that. Hi Adam, it's Kaylee.
Kaylee loves boys.
Hi Kieran, what are you doing on Thursday?
She's always on the phone to boys.
Hi Jackie, free on Friday?
She's always meeting up with boys.
Hi Liam, it's Kaylee.
She goes to the cinema with boys.
What are you doing tomorrow?
Boys are her life.
OK, see you then. Bye.
Cheers, then. Bye.
Every girl needs a boy to drool over, every girl needs a boy to dream about. I'll be lost without boys, they're good listeners, they're always there for me. I don't think I could live in the world without boys.
There is a boy that I'd like to dedicate that to. Head boy.
Kaylee, I don't want to know. But I would very much like to, maybe we could copy some of them up onto nice big paper to display, because I think some of them are very, very good indeed.
Back in the 50s, girls excelled at English and were considered to be more comfortable with emotion and self-expression than boys. So, are today's boys any more in touch with their feelings?
Hand in hand with you, I feel such a pride. You to me mean such a holy great deal.
And so I sit with the knife upon my wrist, drip, drip, as the blood leaves me like your kiss.
Not a no-name heifer. Can't swallow my pride. No, I say blood tastes better.
Take my hand and run to the end of time. So come with me, and your heart will be mine.
Once they got going, they were also quite keen to express themselves through poetry. I'm not sure that a 1950s adolescent male would have been quite so comfortable doing that.
English, we've been writing sonnets, which was good, and I made Miss Gibson nearly cry with mine, which was good fun. That was a really good laugh.
I decided to write about love, because most sonnets are about love, and it wasn't really about like a love in particular of mine. It wasn't about a person or anything. It was just emotions and feelings that I have.
Kaylee's was great because we all knew that she was talking about Hudson, who she really, really fancies, which was so funny. She was like, oh, I have a certain gentleman that I'd like to dedicate this to. That was great. That was so funny.
After lessons, Kaylee plucks up the courage to deliver her sonnet to the object of her affections.
Yours with a radiant smile on my face, now, forever and for eternity, anything to get me out of this place. I will be with you one day, I'm sure, and I know that my love for you is so pure.
If I was a man, I'd actually get down on my knees now and propose.
I would.
That's
I'm Hudson.
Beautiful.
I do get on with her really, really well, but I'm not sure whether anything's going to actually happen.
The fittest boy in this place, and the one that I love, and I'm just going to stop now because I'm making a fool out of myself. I've got it bad, really do.
Look at this, just look at that. That is one day.
That is sick. That can't be one day. That can't be one day, that is sick.
For the girls who broke into Matron's laundry, there's mortification of a different kind. Their punishment is to wash the boys' undies.
Oh, no, they're proper sweating them.
Do more than sweating them. See, I can't tell where the soap ends and where the ends. It's the same colour. I can't tell. Oh, that is disgusting.
Smelly Smalls aside, there's a further ordeal in store for head girl Vicky Buxton.
Yesterday, it was brought to my attention that there was an incident involving access to a telephone by some girls. And I would have thought, fortunately for me, i.e. the school, that you were there. It was your job to say to them, we can't. Not only did you not stop them, I understand that you yourself used the telephone. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
For that breach of trust, you of course can no longer carry on as head girl of this school. You have manacled my hands. You have left me with no alternative. So if you just put your badge on there, please.
Academically, I'm not top-notch, you know, but to be chosen out of 15 girls to be a head girl, it, you know, was something that I was really happy to be.
When I appointed Victoria, I knew it wasn't a safe bet, but I felt Victoria had leadership qualities. And more often than not, when you offer a position of responsibility to someone, generally they succeed. Unfortunately, in this particular case, the role was just too big for her.
What did he say to you then? What? Just start all the stuff that you'd imagine and that he'd say, all the stuff that you think he'd say.
Are you disappointed with that rubbish?
Yeah. There was a possibility of me being there on the last day with my parents stood there with me being head girl, you know, and doing my speech and things, and it's just not going to happen now.
Next time on That'll Teach 'Em,
All about winning.
the boys and girls go head-to-head. A game of cat and mouse with a 6-inch rule.
This side of Gilroy, Jessica, where I can see you.
And Peters is in trouble again.
I am not going to stand for insolence to my staff.